There's a place, a school, an institution where a professor resides. One that for the past 30 years has traveled the world teaching others. A pioneer in America of the fighting science of Savate. One who codified the sports of this fighting style. One who has produced clubs, champions, and continues to develop. Listen to words of Professor Buitrón.
Hey guys, I want to wish you all a great new year 2023. I want you guys to do the best. Be the best. I want to thank you all for subscribing this past year, for following us left and right. Some of you all have continued and gotten on our long online training progression for Danse with Savate. Some of you are following us for many other reasons, for Gloves Off, for the documentaries, for a lot of things. But let me tell you what's happening with Buitrón Academy in general. Buitrón Academy is still here. We have a lot of more programs coming up. Of course, I'm sporting a new battlefield yoga, what I call battlefield yoga. You know, we're working on iron clubs, Indian clubs, joris, gadas, some kettlebells, some meals, and using them in a functional way every morning to lift up and give us the energy we need for the whole day. And, we give classes in the mornings for those interested. Give us a call. Our number is in the information. We also have some great classes. My wife is starting a great class. She's, a lot of people don't understand. My wife's Brazilian, been a professor of capoeira for many years. One of the best capoeiristas that I know. She has an ongoing class here with Savate Capoeira. She became the technical director for that. And her group in Brazil is growing. The group here is in and out, because a lot of people don't know what capoeira is. People see the kicks in UFC, but they just think it's just, I'm just going to go learn the kick. It's a lot more to it than just that. But in Brazil, things are a little bit different than in the United States. In the United States, somebody can open up a club for weightlifting, and all of a sudden you can start having a weightlifting club. But guess what? In Brazil, you can't do that. In Brazil, you have to have a bachelor's either in athletic development, kinesiology, physical development, muscular structure. There's a lot of other things that go on. Well, she has a double major and double bachelor's on. One is athletic development, and the other one is in kinesiology, actually, and physical education. And what occurs is that a lot of students have asked her, "Can you teach us this? Why is this?" and others, and we want to build our legs, we want to build it. In the terms of weightlifting and bodybuilding and body sculpture, the Brazilian way of doing things have defined the femininity within the Brazilian woman that trains, okay? You start lifting weights here in the United States, and by the end of the day, you look like a little pit bull, whether you're male or female. In Brazil, the women, they have bigger legs, they have bigger glutes, they have a feminine side to it. So she's calling her class Brazilian booty workout, and she's only accepting 10 girls per shot. So if you're interested in that, come out here. It's a hellacious workout. I've seen it. I've seen the results with some of the students that we have here. It is tremendous the way they change. Give it a year and you're going to be proud of yourself. You see, what happens to a lot of weight gyms and schools of that nature is that you start going to them and nobody really teaches you. You kind of want to mimic elsewhere. You're there with a dumbbell in your hand and you look at the person over here. Oh, he's doing curls this way. Oh no, he's turning his hand this way. Listen, I powerlifted when I was younger. I used to work at Physique Gym when I was younger. Physique Gym was Cheyenne Rivera, who was a cousin of Lila Brada, I believe, and they used to be partners of the gym. And in Irving, that's how I paid when I was going to school. I used to work out there, and I learned from a lot of greats, not only him, but they used to come down, they used to bring, I don't see that anymore, they used to bring people like Lee Haney to do shoulder workouts, and everybody would be there in a seminar, and Lee Haney would be teaching you how to do a shoulder work, and Gus Sparry how to do your biceps, Tom Platz how to do your legs. I remember seeing these bodybuilding legends come down and teach people how to work out. I was proud to be part of that. I was in bodybuilding. I remember looking at all this other stuff, understanding what supersets were, for double sets were, for split sets were, and you don't see that anymore in bodybuilding gyms or in gyms. Period. They say, oh, you have to go with a personal trainer. You ask a personal trainer, and he got something on the internet, paid $3.99 in a video, and all of a sudden now he's a personal trainer. Folks, it's a different world. You need somebody to teach you. You need somebody to be watching you. You need somebody to start seeing your development, just like in martial arts. You need somebody that's going to be there looking at to see what you're actually doing. Are you actually growing, or you're stunning yourself? It's the same way as Savate training or Kempo training, Capoeira training. You're training for a purpose. Understand? But anyway, we got those classes coming of age. Things that you guys should look up for under USA Savate. USA Savate will have the first event for USA Savate is bringing back the handshake. In the past decade, I have seen the lack of respect our youth have, our young men and women have, not only to themselves, to everybody, the way they act. So we're bringing that in, and we're bringing in some great individuals to tell their story. Maybe we can snap some people out of it. It's going to be on February 3rd, where we're going to have Mahaguru Stephen Plink. We're going to have world champion boxer Hassan Shettas. We're going to have world champion master Jerry Fontaines. We're going to have State Representative Richard Raymond. We're going to have one of the best boxers that Texas ever had. It was Baby Red Delio Palacios, who's going to be telling his story. We're going to be having attorney Nathan Shu. We're going to be having Dr. O'Connor. And why are we doing that? For everybody to see the difference of what's going on, to see the difference in stories, to see what makes you become the best. Okay? So remember, let's bring back the handshake. That's going to be on February 3rd. Tickets are not that bad. It's going to be a full dinner, questions and answers. So we'll be posting that out. We're going to have the Texas Stick Fighting Championship again. We're going to have that in later April. Suavos Capoeira, which is part of USA Savate, is also going to have their Batizado in April. We're going to have a great workshop trying to bring in two mestres, Mestre Cabixaba and Mestre Cao, bringing down to teach Capoeira as the martial art, the fighting entity that it is. For those that are interested, it's going to be open to all martial artists, beginners all the way up to advanced. Please come by. It's an eye-opener, okay, when you have especially people of this caliber coming in. We're also going to have the American Stick Fighting Championship. And of course, in November, we're going to have the 16th annual World Pugilist Hall of Fame, which we're still picking on the people that are coming in for that. Those are the events of USA Savate. Now, the events of Buitrón Academy, we're going to be having the workshop with Mahaguru Stephen Plink. We're going to have another workshop of catch wrestling here. We're going to have a little workshop we're trying to bring in either Grandmaster Wade Williams or Guru Carlito Bonjok to come back and teach us some stick fighting. I think we're going to end up bringing Professor Jack Hoffman again. So we're going to have some good fun for Buitrón Academy. So be watching on those workshops, because they're fun. They're not that far off. You can drive in. There's some good hotels. We're doing that again. The International Guild. We're going to have our 33rd annual Passage de Grade in June. We have some great people testing. We got the crews are starting back again. We're going to have Italy here. We're going to have Mexico here. We're going to have, of course, France. We're going to have some of the guys from throughout the states, and our crew from Laredo. We're going to have a good test and some good fellowship, and that's what it's all about. Hopefully, we can bring in some of the guys from Brazil as well. Doing that, programs, seminars of me going out there and doing. There's some in the works. There's some for me going back to Chicago, Dallas, California, of course, Brazil. We're talking about Japan, and we're also talking about going back to France. So that you're going to see in the next year processing through. Other than that, folks, no matter what martial art you're doing, no matter what kind of training you're doing it, start setting small goals. That's what I ask you guys. If my footwork isn't right, start training it for the next 2 months and tell your instructor, I'm going to be working this. I want you to guide me with this. Talk to them. He's your instructor. Tell him, you know what? I don't think I'm throwing a cross right. You know what? Am I picking up my elbow when I throw the cross? Can you help me make it straighter? Understand what I'm saying? Am I telegraphing? Ask those questions. That's what you're there for. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to understand and to learn. Other than that, let's make it a hellacious year. Much peace. Wishing you all the best this next year.